Maybe you have a business or you want to start, but one thing is clear. You do not have 10 hours a week. So you're probably wondering, well, how can I start this business with less time? And the answer would be to offer things to people who can purchase your products and services that don't require coaching. Because coaching, although I love it, does take up some time. So if you want to build your business on the side, but you don't have a lot of time, I want you to watch today's video and learn what that looks like. Firstly, if you're going to start your business and you don't have more than 10 hours a week, you're going to want to first reflect on yourself and your strengths and your weaknesses and start thinking about you as an individual and your contributions to the business. Now, if you're not sure what your unique strengths are as a dietitian, you can ask. That might feel a little awkward. I actually did this a couple of years ago. I was following an exercise and I wrote like 1 or 2 questions about what am I unique, what stands out to you about me, and I sent it to 5 or 10 of my closest friends. I mean, people that know me well, people that I scrolled through my contact list and I had talked to the most often. And I sent it via email and I sent it via text and WhatsApp to about 10 people. I think 8 responded. And I got some answers and I tabulated them and looked at what were the common threads of what people said about me so that I could be clear that what I thought about me that stood out, that was a strength, was what other people that are close to me thought was a strength as well. And it's a really fun exercise. And what you could simply ask people is, what stands out about me? What do you see as my strength? How am I different from other people? And if you do this, even if you're just asking 5 people and you can't think of 8 to 10, you might get some really good information that can help you learn more about yourself. And that's really powerful when it comes to starting your business, especially if you have less than 10 hours a week. Next thing you want to do is assess your current level and skill in marketing. Because if you want to start your business and you don't have a lot of time, you're going to want to identify what gaps you have and what skills you need to build. If you've never had any experience with talking to people or with identifying problems, let's say getting paid alternative revenue streams, if you've never gotten paid money on the side outside of a 9-to-5 job, you're probably going to need to spend a little more time developing some of your basic communication skills with respect to negotiation, communication, and relationship skills and professionalism in dietetics. If you want to ask yourself, what's your level of understanding? How confident are you when it comes to marketing to position yourself and to ask people to purchase a product or service that you have? Now, if you feel intimidated by that, totally understandable, you'll feel more comfortable with time. But you want to ask yourself those questions first as you're entering this new idea to start your business without coaching. Ask yourself, where do you need additional support? Is it in finance and getting things set up with your money? Or is it in marketing because you have no way for people to know that you exist? Or is it with tech and you don't know how to set up a social media account or your email list or anything basic for tech, maybe an EMR, and you're just feeling a little overwhelmed? Which, by the way, I can relate with, and you can learn those skills with time. The important part is just identifying what are your strengths and weaknesses. What are areas where you can reach out and where if you had a step-by-step roadmap and support, it would really help. Now, the next step includes researching and learning from existing resources. Now, using online resources like webinars and lectures, podcast episodes, YouTube videos, there's so much content out there that can help you, and from other dietitians and from successful dietitians. The problem is a lot of the content out there is not necessarily geared towards your stage of business, and it might not be consistent advice. The advice might be outdated and the advice might be one-off, but doesn't really help you step by step. And so keep in mind that not all advice is applicable to where you're at right now in your stage of business. I do want to remind you that in our membership, which offers continuing education credits, I have a step-by-step roadmap to help you start and launch your private practice with confidence, and you know exactly what to do. I've got templates and guides. I even have an ebook that you can sell. I've licensed it, so you can plug and play, put in your name, change the brand colors, and you're good to go. I've made it very easy for you, step by step. You can join relevant online communities and support groups if that helps, or even attend an event in person. For example, Fancy might be a good idea for you to start being around other dietitians. Or if you can't travel and fancy in Colorado doesn't feel like a viable option for you right now, you can join your local dietetic association. Or if their meetings conflict with your family time and that doesn't fit, you can again join my membership, which is available on a monthly or annual basis. And you have access to me, my team, and a whole bunch of dietitians who are in the same stage starting and launching their private practice. And you can plug in online, and there's live calls, and there's also support, and you can go at your own pace for a lot of the modules, which is exciting. And then you can read articles as well. I mentioned that earlier in terms of resources, but articles are particularly helpful, especially if they're based on a topic that you need help on. Now, I write in Forbes about once or twice a month, and I've written on dietitians and reading your financial statements, dietitians and quarterly goal setting, dietitians and starting your private practice, dietitians and building digital products, dietitians and fear, dietitians and burnout. So you can search my name in Forbes and find any one of those articles and read them as well for the specific topic that you're interested in. Again, all targeted towards dietitians. Building a support system is so important. Now, being an entrepreneur and trying something different that's not traditional can feel lonely, especially if your partner or your family or your friends and family that you are closest with, they don't also do the same thing. And so that's why it's important to find people who are like-minded and connect with them in some capacity, whether it's a regular accountability or you're joining some type of a group, because the more that you surround yourself with others, it's really going to be helpful in your development process when it comes to learning the skills to build and sustain your private practice and really grow your visibility. So you want to think who can offer advice or accountability, if not advice. And there might be more people than you think when you reach out to your local groups or, again, join a membership like my membership, which will help you in terms of finding other dietitians in business in similar stages. You can also get a support system by hiring a CPA or a virtual assistant. Now, I have a free guide link below on the steps to make your first hire for your virtual assistant. It's a very step-by-step free guide, so if you grab that below, you'll have some answers and a checklist in terms of how you go about making that hire. When you do hire for a virtual assistant or bookkeeper, which are typically the first hire you'd make in your private practice, you'll find that getting a support system is really nice. Now, when it comes to coaching, you might be wondering, can anyone be an online coach? And you might know that that's not a regulated term. So the answer is yes right now, unless if anything changes. That means that we're competing with non-licensed professionals in terms of nutrition and nutritional science. And so it's even more of a reason for us as dietitians to make sure we're consistently posting content and making ourselves visible online. And as we grow our practice, we can launch different platforms, and we can be on social media from Instagram to TikTok to YouTube, of course, with time, right? So maybe each year you add a new social platform that has a strategy and consistency. And the more that we become visible and the more that we are representing the field of dietetics, the better. So think of it in terms of helping the profession and aligning with the Academy's goals of empowering and making the dietitian the true expert in food and nutrition. The good part is you can become a coach with no experience. You do not need a license. You don't have to have any special certification to coach as a dietitian. But the bad news is that there's a lot of imposter syndrome going around where dietitians feel like they don't have the skills or they lack the confidence to coach. And coaching is something that you can learn. Well, first of all, we've all gotten experience from our dietetic internship. And if you need more experience with motivational interviewing and different tactics, I can definitely offer those classes inside of my membership as I do live trainings. It's just going to take some time to get more confident if you do want to go about that route. But again, if you've chosen not to coach because you're not comfortable or you don't have the time, I want to share with you that digital product creation, such as ebooks and online courses and memberships, you can create templates and affiliate marketing and monetize your YouTube or get sponsored through your podcast or work with brand deals are all ways that you can work under 10 hours a week, get systems and processes in place. And once you build your audience and you have dedicated people that are loyal to you and the brand that you've built, you don't have to provide coaching. So if you were to create a, let's say, ebook, if you join my membership, I already have ready-made ebooks for you that I've licensed that you can use and sell. And those ebooks will allow you to just put your name on it, change a few things. There's a couple different topics. You can start selling digital products like ebooks, which won't require you time to deliver that ebook. So you can sell it infinite times. That means you created the product once and you can have multiple people buy it and distribute it indefinitely. It's not that easy though. You have to make sure that what you've created is what people want, and that's going to take some testing and some listening skills, and you're going to have to develop your marketing skills. But once you do develop those marketing skills and you work on building your email list and learning the problems people have and creating content to support people's problems, then you can start selling higher volume of your ebooks or courses. You can create a mini course. I have a YouTube video about mini courses. You can create a membership. I have an extensive YouTube video about how to do that, nuts to bolts, which would be perhaps a ongoing monthly community where people are purchasing preferably long-term with you. That would be what a membership consists of. And then you can also create downloads. So you can create templates if people want to purchase from you a template on meal planning there's a lot of different templates you can make as a dietitian. And so those are different ways that you can create digital products that don't require any of your time. Now, if you did charge for something that was your time, that would be consultation, coaching, or group coaching, which are not bad ideas, but they're going to require more than probably 10 hours a week because you're going to have to figure out how to enroll in those services. You're going to have to deliver those services, and you're always going to have to factor in some time for customer service and program improvements for those services, not to mention the marketing involved. So if you've got less than 10 hours a week, start thinking about what product can you create: ebook, online course, membership, digital downloads, brand sponsorships, monetizing your social media accounts like your YouTube, or maybe getting paid and working with sponsors for your podcast. Or you can also do that through Instagram and TikTok as well. Those are all ways that you can make money without coaching. So I hope this video was helpful to give you some ideas about what it's like to first get familiar with what your skills are and then figure out how you can offer things outside of coaching. So if you like this video, I want you to check out this next video I have linked above about how to create a membership as a dietitian.